Today, we're going to take you on a spectacular journey, flying high above Egypt. It's the birthplace of one of the most powerful and honestly just enduring civilizations the world has ever seen. And from this bird's eye view, you'll see just how the achievements of the ancients shaped the Egypt of today, and will unlock some of the secrets written right into its landscape.
So, it all comes down to this one huge question. How did civilization with so much power that lasted for so long spring up from a place that is, let's be honest, mostly an endless, scorching desert? It's a total paradox, one that's had people scratching their heads for centuries.
And the answer? Well, from way up here, it becomes breathtakingly clear. It's all thanks to one powerful, life-giving force, the Nile River. It is the single reason this incredible empire was even possible.
And this, right here, just shows you the stunning contrast we're talking about. A wild 97% of Egypt is harsh, unforgiving desert. And that means that even today, a staggering 96% of the entire population lives crammed into this tiny 3% sliver of green, cultivated land along the river. It's literally a thin ribbon of life and a vast sea of sand.
You see, that river didn't just keep people alive. It made the impossible possible. It was the key that unlocked some of the greatest engineering feats in all of human history, monuments that, to this day, still just defy belief.
Let's just start with the Great Pyramid of Giza. We're talking about a structure built from more than 2 million individual sandstone blocks, and each one of those blocks weighs more than a car. I mean, the scale is almost impossible to even wrap your head around.
And remember, that's just one pyramid. The whole Giza complex is estimated to be made of 10 million tons of stone. Just think about the logistics, the sheer number of people, the willpower it took to pull that off 4,500 years ago. It's mind-boggling.
At 480 feet, the Great Pyramid was the tallest thing on the entire planet for over 3.5 millennia. It wasn't just a building, it was a statement to the world, a monument to a god-king that was designed to last for all eternity.
You know, a mystery this big, it can really consume a person's life. For archaeologist Mark Lenner, that very first site of the pyramids kicked off a 46-year obsession to figure out who built them and, maybe more importantly, how they did it.
And this right here gets to the heart of the puzzle. We know the pyramids were once covered in this polished white limestone that would have been absolutely blinding in the sun. But here's the catch. That stone was quarried 8 miles away, on the other side of the Nile. So how on earth did they move those massive, incredibly heavy blocks?
And the answer, once again, was the river. The ancient Egyptians didn't fight nature. They were smart enough to harness its incredible power. They took the annual flood, which could be totally destructive, raising the Nile by 7 meters, and turned it into a high-tech construction tool. They built this whole network of canals and harbors, using the floodwaters like a natural hydraulic lift to float those giant stones almost right to the base of the pyramids. It was pure genius on a massive scale.
But the Nile story isn't just about building these grand monuments. It's also about daily survival. It's a tale of two completely different worlds that exist side by side in Egypt today. So let's take a look at how that amazing contrast plays out now.
So on one hand, you've got the Nile Valley. It's fertile, it's buzzing with life, it's where the food and trade are. And on the other hand, you have the Sinai Desert, this arid, rocky, and deeply inhospitable land where you might only get an inch of rain in an entire year.
For people like Youssef, a Nubian fisherman, life is just completely inseparable from the river. His family's been living on the Nile for over 100 years. It's not just where he gets his food, it's his whole identity, his entire heritage. It is everything.
And then you have Kudra, a Bedouin shepherdess, and she represents a totally different kind of resilience. For her, survival is all about ancient wisdom that's been passed down for generations. How to read the landscape, where to find water, how to locate plants for her goats in one of the driest places you can imagine. The desert is her entire life.
And what's just so incredible is how many of these ancient traditions and ways of life are still around, echoing into the present day. They connect modern Egyptians directly to the time of the pharaohs.
Okay, just take a look at this. High above the rooftops of Cairo, you'll see these amazing wooden structures called tria. They are home to domesticated pigeons, a practice that actually goes back thousands of years. But today, it's not just for food. Oh no, it's a sport, a fierce competition.
So let me introduce you to Hassan Mohammed Hussein. He's one of 2 million pigeon fanciers in Egypt. And the game is this strategic battle played out in the skies over one of the busiest cities in the world. The goal? Guide your birds home while luring your opponent's birds away. It's kind of like scoring goals in a soccer match, a living tradition that connects the ancient world right to the modern city.
Of course, the most famous echoes of the past are the tombs themselves, right? Back in the Valley of the Kings, the pharaohs hid their treasures from grave robbers. But today, these incredible sites are facing a completely new and different kind of threat.
The biggest challenge now is preservation. I mean, get this. In Tutankhamun's tomb, dust brought in by 1.5 million visitors every year was literally cementing itself onto the ancient paintings. The very act of us going to admire this history was slowly destroying it. The solution had to be modern engineering, a brand new ventilation system to protect the Boy King's final resting place.
And all of that leads us to this monumental task of preserving this incredible legacy for the future. It's a challenge that's almost as epic as building the pyramids in the first place.
The centerpiece of this massive effort is the new Grand Egyptian Museum. I mean, just look at the scale of this place. At 5.2 million square feet, it's going to be the largest museum in the world dedicated to just a single civilization. It's finally a home vast enough to display all of Egypt's treasures the way they deserve.
But just getting the artifacts there is a Herculean task in itself. This was the journey of a 3,000-year-old statue of Ramses the Great. We're talking an 11-mile trip right through Cairo, one of the most gridlocked cities on Earth, requiring a full police and special forces escort, all while crawling at a painfully slow and constant speed. A priceless piece of history, just inching its way through modern traffic.
And for the people who do this work, like conservator Lori Wong, it's obviously so much more than just a job. It's this deep, personal connection to history, a chance to literally touch the past and make sure it survives for all of us in the future.
In the end, Egypt's story, a story written by the Nile, is all about incredible human ingenuity and survival. It's a testament to a civilization that literally engineered an empire from the sand. And that leaves us with one final thought. As the custodians of this heritage that belongs to the whole world, how are we going to protect it for all the generations yet to come?